It's time to beat the clock. Lights of Broadway, sights of Broadway, sounds of Broadway all around. And there above shines the name Sylvania, pioneering light, sight, and sound. Finer products, better products, tested quality. Made for you by Sylvania, pioneer for half a century. Beat the clock, brought by Sylvania. Beat the clock to entertain you. It's time to play Beat the Clock.
Now here is America's #1 clock watcher, Bud Collyer.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to Beat the Clock, the show where you can have the time of your life playing against time for big-time prizes. Now we have to welcome back our contestants from last week, so let's find out their names and all about them again. Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Castellano, is that right?
That's right.
Joe, how you feel?
Fine.
All your friends up in Tuckahoe see you last week?
Yes. I hope to tell you.
Bet they're watching even double tonight,
You're
aren't
not
they?
kidding.
Well, you got to have a smooth hand, a level head here tonight to go
dear.
onto your $200 clock. You had beaten the $100 clock when time ran out. Did you bring the two boys back with you?
Yes, they're back there.
Oh, I met them before the show, didn't I?
Yes.
That's right. It was Bobby and Dick.
That's
right? How old are they again?
One is 8 and one is 5.
Now, you were here last week when the very exciting moment of our bonus was won. You remember the
Yes.
soldier won the $300 because of the bucket on the swing? He landed it right on the thing there. Well, so we have a new bonus tonight. Starts off worth $100. It may happen to you, may happen to anybody. Wherever the bell rings during the show, I don't know when that's going to happen. Why, that'll be the one that'll try for our brand new bonus. We'll find out more about that later. Okay, let's come over and pick up where we left off last week on the $200 clock. Now, Miss Castellano, if you'll step over here and take this fishing pole from Madeline, and here's one for you, Joe. And you stand facing each other, if you will. Let's go down here just a little bit further so the audience can see you. Now, stand facing each other, and your problem is simply using only those fishing poles. Come in a little closer, Joe. You have to, because you have to wind up with this on your husband's head. Come over closer. Come over closer. That's a boy. And you wind up with this on your wife's head, you see? Same way. And in the meantime, all you've used to do it has been the fishing poles. That's all there is to it. See? Okay. Now let's take a look at the clock and see how many seconds you have from the time I say go. You have 40 seconds in which to do it. I have one word of warning for you. Be very careful when you're putting these hats on each other that you don't knock the cup and saucer off your head. That's the only bit of warning I have for you. Keep it steady there now, boy. Keep a level head. Are you ready? Go. Don't look at that one. You just concentrate on what you're doing to your wife. Oh, you moved away just as you had it over. Stay still. All right, you go. Whoop! Hold it, hold it. Stop the clock. Here we go. You're all set again here now. You want to work inside here, do you? All right, you ready? Go. All right. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Stop the clock. Tell you what you do it one at a time. Why don't you just get one set, and the other one holds still, and that one gets the set. All right, she's getting hers on you, or you now. You hold still, Joe. Hold still. She's got it. Now you just hold it there. Okay. Wait a minute. I'll get it set square in her head. You ready? Go. All right. Stop the clock. You know, I'll tell you something very interesting about that. It's very good if you're flat-headed to do a stuff like that. And I'm afraid neither one of you are what we could call flathead, so it wasn't that easy. Well, in any event, I expect the kids were jumping up and down their seats backstage, but they could see it on a monitor back there, so I'm sure they were having just as good a time as anybody. We'll find out what your problem is on that's the jackpot clock coming up next. Well, now, Mr. and Mrs. Castellano, we move up now to where the wife takes over. Mrs. Castellano has to do the jackpot clock on our famous magnetic board all by herself. No help from the husband. Joe, I didn't ask you what you do for a living.
Oh, I'm a station attendant, gas station attendant.
You're an attendant at a gas station? Where is it, Joe?
Tuckahoe, New York.
No kidding. What kind of gas you sell?
Amico.
Might as well get a plug in there. You don't can't lose anything by it. Okay, suppose you step down over there, Joe, if you will, and Miss Castellano stand right alongside him, if you will. I'll tell you when to get up on this platform. And, Joe, you can't help her in any way. All you can do is hold good thoughts for her here. And back of this curtain is our magnetic jackpot board. On it are all of the words that you probably know of a famous saying or quotation, all mixed up and out of order. You've got to move them around on the board until they read left to right the saying or quotation we're after. Do you understand? Okay, you have 20 seconds from the time I say go. Open the curtain. Step up on the platform. Go. About 6 seconds left. Oh, golly, I think you were sneaking up on it. You know what it should have been? What?
Don't send a boy.
That's what it should have been. Don't send a boy to do a man's job. Well, in any event, Miss Castellano, you won your way with your husband's help up to the $200 clock. So let's see what you won.
For your home, an Estate electric range with a built-in griddle for greaseless grilling and Estate's barbecuer, a separate meat oven that cooks whole roasts with radiant charcoal-type heat. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Castellano. You have just won a Beat the Clock prize worth more than $200.
Hey, Roxanne, how are you?
Sergeant, he is.
Sergeant,
Yes, and this is Warren Gebler from Los Angeles.
how's your cold?
Very well, all gone.
You look real nice tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, she got that fire and ice look, hasn't she? Huh? Look real nice. All right, Sergeant Gebler, is it?
Yes, sir.
Well, Sergeant, how long you been? Is it the Army, the Air Force?
Air Force.
I can't tell. You can't blame me, can you? How long you been with the Air Force?
About 10.5 years.
And how long married, Miss Gebler?
We're celebrating our 7th wedding anniversary.
When?
Today.
Today. Many happy returns.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you, Sergeant. You have many more happy anniversaries. Do you have any little...
Yes, we have two little girls.
2 little girls. Isn't that wonderful? Are they watching, do you suppose?
Yes, they are.
Oh, boy, I bet they're going to be excited now. Well, we'll find out what your problem is right now on the $100 clock. If you'll both come over here with me, we'll show you one way of cleaning up after you've had a party. Now, you see what's happened in your living room since the party. I mean, the chairs have been upended. Of course, I suppose this happens with your 2 little girls sometimes as well. It may give them ideas and wrong ideas at that. Now, Sergeant, I'm going to ask you, if you will, to sit down in this chair just as you might if you had been in it when the chair tipped over. In other words, with your back there, your head on that little cushion, your feet up here. And Mrs. Gebler, would you do the same in this chair over here? Get him from the other side. I think it's a little easier there. We'll haul your feet up into position. That's it. Just kick your feet up this way, and I'll pull you up. There we go. All right. Fair enough. Put your head back and relax on the pillow we have there. Now, let me tell you what your problem is. When I say go, without touching your hands to the floor, your feet to the floor, without touching the floor at any time, in other words, with any part of your bodies, all I want you to do is get the chairs upright again, with you still in them. Get the idea? Now, you're looking a little incredulous, Sergeant. It can't be done, or we wouldn't be using it, believe me. Now, let's take a look and see how many seconds you have. You have 40 seconds. Now, if either one of you gets upright, you can't touch the floor at any time. If either one of you gets upright before the other, without leaving the chair, you can reach over and help the other one. Do you understand? But use any other means you want, anything you want. Use your hands, your feet, anything you want, but you may not touch the floor with any part of your body at any time. Understand? Okay, you ready? Go! Well, I tell you, she did a different way. She sort of threw her weight up forward over the end and flipped it over that way, whereas you did the way we had been working it out. You crawled around in it and then just pushed it over. That's the way we found was the easiest way to do it. All right, you got through the $100 clock now. Tell me something, Sergeant. In the Army or in the Air Force, do you ever have to serve as a telephone operator? Switchboard operator?
Maybe I used to.
You did. Because we've had a little trouble with our switchboard here on Beat the Clock. You see, we have all our things delivered by telephones, a new way. And we have a little jam up on the board we want you to fix for us. Now, you can just stay right here and watch him, if you will, Miss Gebler. And, Sergeant, you come over here with me. Let's bring out our switchboard for the sergeant to fix, if you will, please. This is on the $200 clock. Now, just wait till this comes out. It's coming out to meet you here. And then if you'll just step up right over there, you'll find you have a place at the switchboard. And I'll tell you what the problem is, Sergeant, before we give you that cap. Here is the telephone thing, you see. Now, we have put in a lot of calls, and one of these calls is connected with the company that delivers the whipped cream. Unfortunately, they are crossed up with all the other wires, and they keep delivering whipped cream. By telephone, it comes right out there. Now, what you do is you must lean forward just close enough to that mouthpiece to keep saying hello. And all the time you're saying hello, after I say go, with one hand you pull these plugs out one at a time. Now, you must pull them out only one at a time. When you get to the one that severs the connection with the service company that sends us the whipped cream, we'll stop the clock and the whipped cream, and you'll beat the clock. You understand? Okay, put a special hat on it so you can hear better. Do you understand, Sergeant? That's it. And I'll take a look at the clock and see how many seconds you have. How many seconds do you have? You have 30 seconds from the time I say go. And what that was, we have rabbits on the stage, I guess. All right, you understand your problem, sir? 30 seconds, go! All right, stop the clock, you got it! Come over and take a look at it. Sit down there, will you? Take a look at your husband. Go over and stand alongside him because Roxanne is coming out. Roxanne, with one of your Sylvania Super Flash bulbs, blued out for sure shot. Take a picture of the sergeant and his wife. They can have that later for a little record. Come on, Miss Gebler, back with me if you will, and we'll get the sergeant all cleaned up good as new for you. In the meantime, it comes your job to try for the jackpot clock. That, of course, is always the job of the lady in the case. So if you don't mind, you'll step right down to the far end of that platform and get up on it when I tell you to. And back of this curtain is our big magnetic board. By magnetism, it holds all the words of a famous saying or quotation, but all mixed up and out of order. You move them around on that board until they spell out the saying or quotation that we're after in 20 seconds from the time I say go, okay? All right, open the curtain. Step up on the platform. Go. Write a sentence. No. Come on, quick, if you got the idea, I know. Oh, golly, I'm awful sorry, Miss Gebler. Look, it's this. A soft answer turneth away wrath. You were so real close to it. I think you knew it, didn't you? Yes. Well, I'm awful sorry. You got a little nervous, I guess, but you still done all right, because with the sergeant's efforts, too, you won yourself through to the $200 clock. So let's see what you've won.
An automatic Speed Queen ironer, which irons everything from sheets to shirts. You can sit comfortably relaxed, feed the pieces in, and your Speed Queen ironer will do all the work. Congratulations, Sergeant and Mrs. Gebler. You have just won a Beat the Clock prize worth more than $200.
You're very welcome. You'll find the sergeant good as new backstage. Bye. Well, Roxanne, whom do we have now?
Well, I'd like you to meet David and his mother and father, Mr. and Mrs. Jagger from Valhalla, New York.
Thank you very much. Jagger or Jager?
Jager.
Jager. David looks like he wished he was anywhere else but here. How are you, Dave? You do wish you were anywhere else but here?
Yeah.
You don't like the idea? Come on, step out. I won't bite, I promise. How old are you, Dave?
9.
Why don't you like being here?
Makes me nervous.
It does? You think all the guys will kid you about it?
You're not kidding.
They will. What will they say to you?
They were kidding me before we came here. They're saying that we weren't going to get on the show. Now they're going to get on the show. They're going to give me twice as much.
Boy, you just can't win, can you, Dave, huh? I mean, you're darned if you do and darned if you don't. There's just no way out of it. Well, David, I think you're going to have a good time. As a matter of fact, Roxanne, have you got one of those space kits for Dave? There we are. Take one of those home with you, fella, and have a lot of fun with it. That'll prove to the boys that you were actually here on the show.
I'll have a 5-year-old girl at home.
You have a 5-year-old girl at home. What's her name?
Rita.
Rita. My goodness, you suppose she's watching?
I think she is.
Boy, well, wave to her. Right in there. Go on, Dave. Wave to her in there. By the way, your little girl is 5 years old. I don't know whether we still have any of those Roxanne dolls around. Do we, Roxanne? Yeah, we do. There we are.
Oh, that's lovely.
There's a Roxanne doll for you. You can take that along. I'm sure she'll like that. You can get those in the toy departments of all the department stores. All right, now we have a problem for the two of you that I don't recommend as a way of doing this all the time, but if you'll come over here with me, I'll show you what it is. Now, Miss Jager, if you'll step over there, Madeline's going to put a glove on your right hand, and on your left hand, Mr. Jager, we're going to put a stocking. The reason we're doing that is because using the glove for the man is just too tight, you know. It's a man's hand being bigger and everything. Now, of course, these are long gloves, and you could take them off very easily by just, you know, pulling it down or pulling the fingers, and you could take that stocking off very easily. So let's take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have to do just that. 45 seconds, but here's what you do. Without touching either glove or stocking with your other hand, in fact, without using your other hand, without using your teeth in any way, but simply by sort of going like that at each other, you just get the glove and the stocking off. Do you understand the problem? Beg pardon? You work any way you want, but work fast and work at the same time. You got it? Go! Put it back on, but we just put it on part way. We don't have to, she had it part way off, so we'll give her that much of a break. Keep it just down around the ankle, around the wrist. Right around about there. Okay, let go of it now. Ready? Go! All right, stop the clock. Well, that means that you, hey, they've gone through the 100. Dave, you don't look at, hey, the bonus. How about that? You dare just to try the new bonus. As a matter of fact, the bonus tonight, we've gone back to a couple stunt for the bonus, and I think maybe you'd better take your hat off if you don't mind. Do you mind doing that? Okay, just set it right there. This place for it, I think. Set it right on top if you want, if you think it's safer. Put it on the Roxanne doll. Okay, and you two come out here with me, and girls, bring out the new bonus, which is worth $100. Thank you very much, Betty, and thank you, Madeline. Now, here is a large balloon, you see? And what we want you to do is to wind up this stunt with this balloon resting in that pail like that, all by itself so it's not falling out. You got the idea? That's all you have to do. The only difference in the way I did it and the way you will do it is that the only thing you may use is your heads. You cannot bite that little valve or anything else. Just with your heads, you've got to maneuver that until it gets in that bucket and stays there under its own power. Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 50 seconds from the time I say go. You ready? Go! A good try. You sure had it close there. You had the right idea, too. You see, you can't go bumping it too hard. You just kind of nurse it over there between the two of you, and it just kind of sits in there after a while. It gets really exciting. Well, that's, of course, worth next week $200. It adds $100 a week each week that it doesn't happen to be done. So let's see what happens next week. I expect you'll be doubly interested when you're watching next week. You're now trying for the $200 clock, having beaten the $100 clock, and this is entirely for you, Mr. Jaeger, so if you'll come over here with me, I'll show you what it is. You have to have a real calm and steady hand for this one. Do you mind standing over there, sir? Now, here I have a whole series of balloons, you see? But in the bottom of these balloons, hold your hand out, palm up, if you will, and you see what you feel. Feel that funny little thing? There's a little round ball bearing in there that sort of rolls around, and it does fascinating things when you try to hold the balloon on the back of your hand. You see? It kind of goes all over the place here. And that's all we want you to do. I will place them on the back of your hand, palm down, and without resting it against your body, but merely by balancing on the back of your hand, get two balloons over there in that basket. You understand the problem? Let's take a look and see how many seconds you have. 55 seconds from the time I say go. Just one hand at a time. Are you ready? Go. Wait a minute. Here we go. Go. Back here, boy. Come on back. Hurry up, quick. Stop the clock while we do. Here we go. Go. Go back. Here we go. Go. What? Wait a minute. Get you started. Go. All right. Get another one. Here we go. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes it's a little unfair to you at home because you don't see what happens here on stage. But both Madeline and Betty, I think, suffer from what we call balloon nerves on this show. And if one balloon breaks within 30 yards of either of them, they leave the ground by 30 feet. And that's why we were laughing. One did break. Dave, you know what's going to happen now?
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Something my mother can't do.
Now, what makes you say that, Dave? Come out here, boy.
I had to go up in the attic today. I had to find a book of knowledge so she can learn some.
You mean you're taking care of your mother's education, is that it? It helps to have a boy around the house, doesn't it? All right, well, I'll tell you, Dave, you step down there with Daddy, will you please? And Miss Jaeger, which is it, Jaeger or Jaeger? Jaeger. Miss Jaeger, if you'll step down the far end of that platform, I'll tell you when to get up on it. And back of this curtain is our famous magnetic board with all of the words of one of those famous sayings or quotation all scrambled up. You get them unscrambled. Put them around on that board so they read left to right, the saying or quotation we're after in 20 seconds from the time I say go. By left to right, I mean just the way you'd write a sentence, you know. Okay? Open the curtain. Step up on the platform. Go. Oh, hold it. Stop the clock a minute. Go. Oh, I'm sorry, it's just backwards. I'll show you what it should have been. It should have been just the other way around. It happens that I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him, is what it should have been. I was awful close. Will you come back here, though, family, because you've nevertheless beaten our $200 clock, so let's see what you've won.
A beautiful half sofa from the Shaw Manufacturing Company of Charlotte, North Carolina. 2 versatile pieces scaled to average room size with hair-filled construction for luxurious comfort, exemplifying the very best in Shaw craftsmanship. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Jaeger. You have just won a Bud prize worth more than $200.
Dave, I still have you here, boy. Get your sister like that. Tell the fellas not to kid you, you hear? Tell them they have to answer to me if they do, I tell you. That's a boy. He's a real help, that fella. Goodbye. Roxanne, who are our next contestants, please?
But we have Mr. and Mrs. Swayze from Seaside Heights, New Jersey.
Well, hi there, Mr. and Miss Swayze. How are you? How long you been married?
7 years.
7 years. You must have been right young when you got married.
That's true.
Do you have children?
3.
3 children. My, 3 boys. You gonna try for the girl?
No, thanks.
What's the matter with girls? I got girls and I like them.
Yeah, but I'd rather have, I'm satisfied with 3 boys. I don't want to try for 4.
Chicken. Well, we'll find out what your problem is on the $100 clock in just a... All right, Mr. and Miss Swayze, what do you do for a living?
I'm a mailman.
You actually tote the mail, do you?
That's right.
Are you fast?
Oh, sure.
Well, let's see how fast you are. Come over here with me, will you? What's your first name?
Earl.
Earl? You mind if I call you Earl?
Not at all.
Okay, come on, Earl. Now, if you mind ducking around, standing on the other... All right, you can go under. That's fine. Now, here we have a little beach ball on a slide, you see. Now, you're right-handed, are you? Yeah. Well, we'd start you from this side. I just have you there while I explain it to you. What you do is this. You shove this up there, you see, as far as you can, and before it comes back, the moment you shove it, you start to run, and you run down and around that post and back here again before this gets back. I'll show you why. Madeline, would you hold that up there just a minute? That's the girl. What I'm going to do is take one of these dishes and stand it up like this, you see? And if you don't get back in time to grab that dish off there, the ball will hit it, knock it down, and break it. So that's your problem. Start around this side, if you will, please. Shove that up as far as you can, run around all the way around that post, back here in time to grab this dish off here, all in how many seconds from the time I say go? 40 seconds. Do you understand, Earl? Are you ready? Go. Hey, Billy, let's go. I tell you, there are some of our stunts that we call holiday heartbreak, and that's one of them. It just, they just don't go as hard or as fast as they might go other times. We broke more dishes trying that out this afternoon, believe me. All right, now we're going to have your $200 clock, and this involves you're just sitting in an easy chair and doing a little swiveling around like you might if you had a desk job. So suppose you come over here with me on... Oh, wait a minute, we haven't got the thing set up for you now. We got to get it set up, but this involves sitting in a swivel chair and moving some pots and pans around so that you get them all nested. I tell you that... Hey, boy, oh boy. Now you know what your stunt's going to be. We can't change it. It's got to be that. So there we go. For next week, can you come back? Because we've used up all our time tonight.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and you tell those boys to watch next week, and they'll see just what happens. Okay? Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, and this is Bud Collyer speaking for Sylvania, hoping that next time may be your time to beat the clock. Good night, everybody.
This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Totten production, produced in association with the CBS Television Network. Roxanne's Gown, a Paul Parn original. This is Vern Bennett reminding you to tune in every week at the same time for Beat the Clock.